Hello drivers, so this is the first major Patreon exclusivity. So what it is, I think that you will find out if I show you this box like this. So yeah, it is the smart control box for the SRT-P1 seat belt tensioner. So what it does, as you can see, you have two potentiometers and one switch. So it is kind of straightforward. This one is for the gain, so how much torque is applied. This one is the preload, and you know, I spoke a lot about the preload when I presented the SRT-P1 tensioner, and being able to adjust it while driving is a very important feature. And you have obviously the switch here that turns on and off the seatbelt tensioning. This smart control box is available for Pro and Elite levels on Patreon. So right now the documentation is on Patreon, but in the coming weeks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link the website and the Patreon, so when you have a Pro Patreon, you can connect on the website and have access to exclusive projects. But to do, in order to do this, I need to copy the website on a new URL. You know that the website is both in French and English, and I can't connect both Patreons, French and English, on this single website. So I need to copy the website, do a standalone English website, and you're gonna have access to this website, etc., etc. So it's just a matter of weeks, but you just need to know that in the coming weeks it will be far easier for Patreons to get access to the exclusive content. Right now there isn't so many content, so it will be one again shared on the Patreon, but it will be moved later on the website. And the good news is that in the coming weeks, with this new website, that will be exactly that as the current one, right? You're gonna have access, if you have an contribution or higher, to the website without any ad, so it will make the navigation easier. And to conclude, with an AM contribution, you also have access to exclusive previews, so go check it out. I put the link in the description. So well, let's go back to this box. Is this important to have this gearbox? You know, when I started to work on this thing, I wasn't convinced that it would be that interesting. Why? Because you can just, as you know, the gain and mostly the gain in flight PT directly. So if you want to increase or decrease, you just go on flight PT and you just change the gain. But if you already made this project, you probably know that, well, flight PT is so much powerful. You can do so many things with this software, but you don't want to spend too much time in it because there is so many options, so many numbers, and in the end adjusting the gain isn't that easy with this software. Then you can also adjust the gain and the preload directly on the driver of the motor. Once again, you probably already did this if you built the SRT-P1 tensioner, and you know that, well, it isn't hard to do, but it isn't the thing that you want to do every day. You have to know the option number, you have to know how it works, how it will, how, you know, when you change the value, if it will change the gain a lot or not. So, well, it isn't that handy. You can do this, but it isn't handy. So with this smart control box, you can just easily change the gain and the preload. And most importantly, the thing is, you know, when you are driving, you feel that you don't have enough preload or something, you need to pause the game, you need to mostly remove the harness and go check the settings. By example, for me, the driver is at the back, at the right, here, and honestly, I think that I can reach the driver, but if I have the harness put on, I can't, just done like this. So it is once again a pain in the ass. So you want to be able to adjust the settings directly when driving without going out, without pausing the game. And this thing allows you to do this in live. And in fact, it is very important because, once again, if you already did the P1 seatbelt engineer, you probably tuned your system with the fastest car, something like an F1, in order to calibrate the torque. But the thing is, okay, it's pulling very hard because it is the fastest car. The thing is, if you are driving like this for an hour or more, you will probably want to lower the torque because it is too much. At the opposite, if you are driving a slow car, you may want to feel something. You put $500 in this system and you don't feel anything because you are driving a slow car. It's not possible. So once again, you want to adjust the gain in live directly while driving, and this thing allows you to do this. If you don't have this smart control box, you will have to pause the game, check flight PT, change the values, check if those new values are okay or too much or too low. And once again, this thing, you just enjoy the whole system more. And about the switch, well, the switch allows you, you sit on your rig, you put the harness on, and you forgot something, so you have to stand up and go. Well, if the tensioner is on and the preload is a little bit important, you're gonna have your harness going back, and with just this simple switch, you turn off the harness and you can go do what you have to do. So once again, a lot more comfort, a lot easier to use, and yeah, I really think that this switch is also a great improvement. And by the way, people often ask about the emergency stop, and you know that I don't provide emergency stop for the SRT-80 actuators or for SRT-P1 seatbelt engineer, because in the end, if a problem occurs, if something have to break, it will break before you reach the emergency step. The actuators, they are so fast. The P1 SRT tensioner, once again, it just pulls immediately, so if a problem occurs, you won't have the time to reach the emergency stop. Sorry. And once again, by the way, I won't be responsible if something goes really wrong. Once again, do all the tests with nothing on the motor shaft. You just do the test with the motor alone. Nothing bad can happen, right? You check if everything is working correctly. I try to provide some test codes, so you just begin with the test code and then with the flight PD code, etc., etc. And at each step, when you put something on the shaft, you need to do another test without you doing the test. And even with the harness, don't do the test on yourself, or maybe do the test on someone that you don't like, but then with the seatbelt tensioner, in the worst case, what will happen is that it will prove very hard, but it won't kill you. You know, at the beginning when I was younger, I did all the tests on myself, and as you can see, I am alive, right? So it's not a good idea to do the test on yourself, but it won't kill you, it won't harm you. In the worst case, with the P1 seatbelt tensioner, it will pull very hard on your shoulders, right? But you will be able to reach, you know, the thing here to unlock the harness. You will be able to remove the harness this way. So it's not a big deal. It won't kill you. Then this thing is like an emergency stop, because it's meant to disable the driver, right? It is what an emergency stop does. It just disables the driver, and this thing does the same thing, right? But in the end, the first thing is, as far as I know, there was absolutely no problem with the P1 seatbelt tensioner. With the GT, you know, maybe sometimes the driver fried if it wasn't properly cooled, but in this case the seatbelt won't be pulling, so it's not a problem. And with the P1, once again, nothing went wrong. So here you have something that disables the driver. It doesn't power off the driver. So I'd say that if a problem will occur, it will be on the driver side. But once again, you know, it's industrial grade drivers, so I never heard about a defective one. So once again, there is, in my opinion, no risk at all. But it is a good thing, you know, to have a switch to power off the driver. And in my case, I have it right there, so I can reach the button and cut off everything. But once again, I know that if a problem occurs, I won't have time to reach an emergency stop or the power switch or anything, right? So let's go back to business and do a few laps to show you how it works. Okay, let's go. So, you know, you see I am on track. Yeah, the engine is on, but the seatbelt is off, so I can install properly. So we are not moving right now, but just to show you, everything is at the minimum here. So I turn on the seatbelt tensioner. I increase the preload. So as you can see here, it is already pulling quite a lot, and if I turn off, it is instantly cut off. You see? So I'm going to remove the preload. If you already built the seatbelt tensioner, you may want to adjust the preload and to reduce it, because here, you know, I am already at the minimum, and it is already pulling a little bit. So, okay, let's go. So here I may want to adjust the gain. Let's start with 50%. Okay, it seems okay. Let's wait for the straight. Here. Here you can see the tension. So 50% is okay. I may want to try a little bit more, because here I'm in the straight, and when I pull off, I don't feel the difference. Once again, second gear, cruise. I I can feel the curves. Oh. You see? Second gear. It's pulling. And I'd say that for everyday use, it is okay. It's not too much. It's not too low. For example, if I go to that, I think I am at 30% here. While it's still pulling slightly, but you may want to feel something a little bit more violent. Third gear, I feel something. Okay. So now let's start 100%, right? I don't want to press the throttle now. You feel the power. Second gear, third gear, still pulling hard, and it starts to reduce with the fourth gear. Third, you see the third, still pulling right. I fear for the next straight. Oh, I didn't mention that, but yeah, it is enabled on acceleration only. It is what I prefer. Well, you know, when the turbo kicks in, oh, it is something. So here, you know, I think that in reality is something about that. You may feel it differently in reality. You know, you have the G-force in all the body, not just the upper part, but yeah, I think that it is something like this. So it is kind of immersive, but once again, yeah, if you really want to do a lot of laps, yeah, it may make you tired very quickly. So now I am tired, so I want to reduce the gain, and it is something a little bit less violent, while still providing some feedback, some immersion, you know. A little bit less, and we are good. And then, you know, you can also adjust depending on if you are on the fast track, on the slow track, because if you know that you want to use the first gear, for example, where it's the most violent, well, you may want to, you know, increase the gain. So I think that we are done there. Once again, it will be uploaded on the Patreon and later on the brand new website. So feel free to check it, feel free to check, you know, the Facebook page, the Discord, subscribe to the channel, and I see you soon on track.